Good evening, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. I'm just got through, got the letter up on here, and now I've lost it again. I can't believe it.
You lost it?
Yeah, where did you find it? We want to do, while Beth is finding that letter, there we are. Okay, let's see if I can not get rid of it this time. I'm going to read this letter. This gentleman has had issues and problems before and is going through something of a difficult time. So I'll just read the letter for you, and then Beth no doubt will come in and video jack in a little while. Okay, so dear Terence and Beth, first of all, I'm sorry to contact you with my not so pleasant experience that I have with my Filipino wife. As my wife, 37, is not at all working, she expects I support her and her daughter. I am still living in, and I won't say where, I am still living abroad and waiting for my house to be sold and dealing with my move to and permanently living in the Philippines. Well, that all sounds good. The problem I am facing is that my wife, who is not at all working and not even looking for a job, expects from me to pay her rent and monthly groceries for her and my adopted daughter. I live off my pension of 1,600 Canadian dollars and have to pay many bills in order to be ready for my move. And after, let me see, and after times asking my wife to find a job, she insists that I need to pay her up to 400 Canadian up to Canadian dollars. Where is that letter gone? Okay, now I've got a split screen. She expects me to pay up to 400 Canadian dollars a month. I am unable to grant her these wishes, and yesterday there was a breakdown in communication, as she said, "You don't love me and our daughter." Actually, now that I've read that, I think that this has been the subject of one of our advice letters before. I would very much like to receive any input you and your wife might have to make it clear to my wife that I can't just send money, as my pension income is adequate to support myself and in preparation of the sale of my house and preparing the trip and moving to the Philippines. Regards. And that's the end of the letter. And now I'm waiting for the descent from the heavens of my lovely wife.
How's it like?
And here she is.
What's the problem on that? Can you move your head, darling?
Darling, I've just read an entire long letter, and now you're coming in and saying, what's the problem?
I'm not listening. Okay, do your advice.
Well, you should have listened, because I can't read the whole thing again.
It's about supporting, right?
Yes.
It's about, yeah, you call somebody.
Called somebody?
I thought you accidentally called again.
No.
Yeah, so again, sir, if your problem is about financial, if you're required to support your Filipina and the child, right? And your problem, another concern is your money, your financial is not as great as it is, and your concern is about, you're worried about the financial, that later on it will be, what do you call that?
I don't know.
Zip end.
Zip end?
It's gonna be gone, right?
Oh, okay.
Got me?
Well, his problem at the moment is that evidently he is trying to sell his house abroad, well, Canada, because we've already said Canadian dollars. So he's trying to support himself and the move out to the Philippines on $1,600 a month.
But that's $16,000 a month. It's quite
Not,
big.
honey, listen to me. It's not 1,000. It's 1,600.
Yeah, 1,600.
Yes, but not 16,000.
No, it's 1,600. It's still a big amount.
Yes, I know that it's 1,600.
I'm going to calculate your pension, okay?
No, you're not going to calculate my pension because it's not anything to do with...
No, I mean his pension. 1,600. How much is 1,600 in Canadian? Okay, I'm going to calculate so that you can in peso. So we will come up a solution on your problem.
But his wife is expecting him out of that money, out of 1,600. She's expecting him to send her $400.
Oh, that's too big for a Filipina.
Yes.
It's too big.
But as he said, she's not working, and she apparently is quite happy to not work.
1,600 Australian.
Right.
Let's me calculate. No, Canadian, right? Canadian.
Yes,
Canadian peso to peso.
Well, first and foremost, you must expect to be sending them some money. I'm assuming that you're not opposed to sending them some money, but that you're not able to agree to send 400. And I'm inclined to think that you're correct in not sending 400, or is he?
Okay, your pension, sir, your $1,600 Canadian dollar in peso is around 59,030.27, right? So when you arrive here in the Philippines, that's the amount that you're going to receive, which is quite big, you know. Especially if you live in the province, that's a quite big amount every month that you're going to
Well, what about
receive.
the 400?
400 Canadian
that she's expecting him to send?
To peso, it's around 14,757 a month.
That was a month. So you think that that's enough for? It should be enough for her to live.
Yeah, if you've been if your girlfriend has a daughter.
Well, it's not his girlfriend; it's his wife.
His wife.
Yes.
Then if that, it's what you call that? It's normal. You know, it's quite fair. You know, because the electricity, the food.
Yeah, that's
it's quite.
What the letter says.
Yeah, if it's Australian, if it's American dollar, then it's around 20,000. It's quite big. But we're talking about Canadian dollar, so it's around 14,000 pesos. You know, if my Google is correct.
Well, now that I'm thinking about this, I remember that this man wrote to me before, and we did actually talk about it, because his wife was saying, "Oh well, if you don't send me the money, you don't love me."
Maybe it's different also.
No, it's not different, darling. I know it's not different.
Oh, okay.
And because I remember the name.
Oh.
Okay, because it's a name that's been repeated 2 or 3 times, strangely enough, with other subscribers. So a first name, that is. So I remember that you felt that she was making unfair demands, and was not aware of the fact that you are trying to live in a greatly more expensive economy in Canada, and unless your house is paid for, which I suspect it possibly is not, so you have a mortgage, and so you're spending most of that on living there.
Yeah, I think, in your case, we understand about your case, because you want to come here to the Philippines and 10,000 every month to give, but it's your wife, and if your wife is living in town or near or even in the countryside, 10,000 pesos, if you get it from electricity, the food, the school fees of their daughter, so it's just
because I remember that his daughter is a teenager, older I'm sure than Taliklik, so probably 15.
It's stated there in the letter.
I saw a picture.
Ah.
He sent a picture of him.
You know, so it's
and his wife
and also some daily
and
needs.
His stepdaughter.
Oh, and also the daily needs. So I think the best option, so that you're going to explain to your wife that, look, we only have. I want to come to the Philippines, you know, and we need to save up, you know, we need to save up, we need to talk about our finances. So maybe your wife can able to, out of the 10,000 pesos, can start doing a small business, so to help, you know, to help the daily needs, the finances, you know, like selling something or having a little sari-sari store, and that whatever income on that sari-sari store might be what might be later gonna be used on their daily needs, rather than you always sending them. So it could be like that, you know. It's just a matter of talking to your partner that and explain to her about your financial status, you know.
The other thing as well is, if you try to look at what you're required to send to them, to the two ladies, if you look at them and say, well, it's $400, was it? It was $400. If you times that 400 by however many months you think that you're going to be still in Canada trying to work out your relocation, right? If you were to look at that and say, let's say, for instance, it was, say, 3 months, and you thought that you were going to be there in Canada for another 3 months, then they're going to need, if you went into agreement with it, they're going to need 400 times 3. So you're going to have to be able to find 1,200 in order to be able to keep them happy. But if it is that you think that that's too much,
then divide it.
Then yes.
And explain to her.
And explain why.
And explain to her that, look, I just, for example, instead of sending it for 400, you send it maybe 200, and you tell her that if there's some really bad emergency that needs to pay, you know, or some payment in school, just give me the receipt and then I'll send you. You know, like
well,
that.
I remember from the first letter that was one of the problems, is that she kept coming up with reasons for why she needed to have extra money. You know, we know someone else who has had this problem, somebody else that wrote to us and has the same problem, that these emergencies
never ending.
Be what they are never ending, and it can be this way. We understand that.
Yeah, but we also have some friends, some people that we know that their partner is here in the Philippines, and they asked, how much is the usual amount that I'm going to send to my partner, and we tell them $100. You know, it's like that, and let them know how to budget it and send it. So if there's some big emergency expenses, you know, like some hospitalization, then that's the time that you're going to give something to add on it. But make sure that you got it's valid, you know, it's real, rather than just making up stories that I'm in the hospital, but it's not really real.
Yeah, and the thing is that you're already married, so you've committed to this relationship, and it would be it's a disturbing situation that perhaps you've landed yourself in. One way of looking at it would be that you've landed yourself into a situation where this lady is going to be a bottomless pit which you throw money into. But I know that we have another friend here who has had a similar situation, but he was I'm not going to mention any names, son. She's squeezing my shoulder. I'm not going to mention any names, but we have someone, and he just got tough and said, no, this is the budget, and he explained, I have enough money for us to live modestly, comfortably, but modestly, and when he has to find money, say for the children to go to school, he tells the kids, you know, here's the money that you're going to need for the week, and it's so much a day times 5, and if at day 4 you don't have any money, then you're going to have to do without on day 5. And the idea of that is it's what the Americans would call tough love, and you teach the children, in this particular case, you teach them to budget so that they can make the money that they have, because otherwise they'll spend everything on the first 2 days, and then they'll be coming back and saying, oh, I haven't got any money, Daddy.
Yeah.
He didn't have it, and neither can you. The thing is, it's not as if what your decision will be is going to upset everything, because it's already in that situation.
Yeah, but you're right. You know, we need to transfer. We need to set up another, because our face on this video is it's just our face can be seen. No, we need to make another arrangement on this video.
We're going to do another video.
No, I mean late in the next, because look, our two face cannot enough anymore.
It's not enough anymore.
Yeah, it's like you dominate all the camera face.
I'm not dominating. Screw it up. I'm a bad boy. Honey.
You know, so that's my advice, sir. You know, it's your if that's really your wife, you need to accept
If that's really his
No,
wife,
I mean if they are been husband. If they are husband and wife, you know, at the beginning, you know already that it's not. You know, let me finish, Han. At the beginning, you know already that it's been additional expenses to have a partner, right? So it's your you already come to that problem, then you need to finish it. You're married already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's your obligation.
As my friend Gina used to say in Florida, you're in the boat.
Yeah.
You're in the boat now, so you're going to have to come up with solutions and then enforce them.
Yeah, and
well,
expenses now. If you go to the groceries and buy something, for example, you just buy some couple of broths, some kilos of fish and chicken. You know, you just when you paid it, you bring some money going there, and then when you come home, you just realize, look, this is what remaining on my money. It's very expensive now. You know.
Yeah, I think what Beth was trying to say was that prices are going up.
Yeah, it's headache to budget, you know, especially if the one that you've been budgeting is only small amount, you know. So try to understand that it's part of being married. It's part, you're not single anymore, that you're just thinking about yourself. It's about having another person and having another person also to be spent on your money.
Another two.
Yeah, and just enjoy it, you know.
Yeah,
what's the purpose of having a lot of money but you're not happy and nobody can share it?
He doesn't have a lot of money, honey.
Darling.
Does he?
It's 50,000 a month. It's bigger.
He's living. This is something.
When you come to the Philippines, it's
this
big.
is interesting. This is if you're a foreigner watching this is interesting. A Filipina does not seem to be able to grasp the idea that money is only relative to the economy that you live in. And if you live in an economy where the rent on a house is, say, $50, it's not the same as living in a place where the rent is $500. So Filipinos can't get it. And that's why so many Filipinos go abroad to America and think it's the promised land, and then they realize that all of those goodies that they see Americans having. Let me finish, darling. Don't stop plucking out my hair.
I'm getting your white hair.
Oh, okay. Well, this might take some time then in that case. No, but Filipinos can't, they have difficulty understanding this, and in the end it does require to go to America to realize that Americans may enjoy all the toys, but my God, they work for it.
I think the best solution to your problem is come to the Philippines as soon as possible to resolve your financial problem.
Well, he's
Have a
doing
good day
that. He's doing that, isn't he? It's difficult to get this over. I actually had to sit down with one because we kept going into a particular hardware store, and we got to know the people that work there, right? So one woman asked me, when are you going back to America? I said, I'm not going back to America. Why would you not go back to America? And I said, well, what do you think is the life in America? Well, you can earn thousands of dollars a month in America. And I said, let's work out what you earn. And that she gave me. So we sat down with a pencil and paper and we said, how much do you earn? And then we worked out what her bills were and what her rent was and what she gave her kids and all of that. And she could save 1,000 pesos a month. Now, so let's assume that you go and you get a job at, say, McDonald's, which I think was paying 15, I may be out of touch on this now, obviously, I've been gone for 6 years, and they're, say, getting $15 an hour, and I don't know, working 40 hours a week, and we worked out that she would have to be sharing an apartment with another family or another person in order to be able to come out with too little, not enough budget. So Americans, they're hard workers. They work hard and long for what they get. So don't ever think that it's a fallacy that all Americans are rich, you know, and the ones that come over here and they are well off have worked damned hard for that money, believe me. Very hard-working people, the Americans. Now, I'm not saying that from a biased point of view, because, as you know, I'm British and then naturalised American because I lived there for 20 years. So, I hope this helps. I don't think that it has. It's going to take some tough love for you, sir, to be able to handle this. Good luck. Keep in touch. Let us know. Bye for now.
And best wishes, sir. Have a good day.